Hi there, forever friends. I'm Vanessa from Forever Our Home. Welcome to my weekly vlog. I hope you've all had a wonderful week and happy Easter to you all. On Friday, we went out for an early morning walk. It was such a bright and sunny day, and such a joy to be greeted at the end of the lane by the ewes with their precious little lambs, symbolising new life and new beginnings. Sadly, after our morning walk, we came home to discover our beautiful pet bunny, Piglet, had suddenly passed away. It was such a terrible shock, as it was only 2 years ago that we brought our beautiful bunnies home to start their new life and new beginnings, expecting them both to be part of our family for around a decade. Understandably, we're absolutely heartbroken and devastated for Blossom, Piglet's sister and best friend. So I dedicate this vlog in memory of my beautiful Piglet. Earlier in the week, I asked my mum for her recipe for traditional rice pudding. I was feeling nostalgic and wanted to fill the kitchen with the sweet nutmeg aroma that evoked so many childhood memories of this comforting, simple, cheap and tasty dish that Mum used to make. I also remember the best bit of the pudding for me was the browned skin that always formed on top of it. It's absolutely delicious. Mum gave me the recipe and it was so easy for me to veganise. I replaced the butter with a vegan butter alternative and dairy milk for soya milk. To make Mum's rice pudding, I first preheated my fan-assisted oven to 150 degrees. I then greased my oven-proof dish and added 2 pints of soya milk. I added 100 grams of pudding rice and 50 grams of caster sugar. Finally, I added a knob of butter and a good sprinkling of nutmeg. So the pudding went into the oven for 2.5 hours. And whilst I was busy in the kitchen, Carl got to work on the craft room. If you've seen my video dated 11th of March, you'll know that my husband Carl and I are on a mission to transform an untouched tiled old bedroom into my dream country style craft room. Carl has been very busy this week DIYing. He's been sanding, painting, fitting a new light, replacing sealant around the window frames and wallpapering. Wanting a piece of furniture similar to my Welsh dresser in my living room, I decided there was only one thing for it. We needed to move the Welsh dresser up into the craft room. Although I was over the moon with the dresser's new home, I wasn't happy that we couldn't see the lovely new wallpaper that Carl had just put up. So there was only one thing for it. That back panel had to come off, and I'm so glad it did. So the next 3 things I'd like to do are to look out for a refractory table, which I think will be perfect for cutting out patterns. Then we need to make some shutters for my window. I'm also going to be looking out for a small armchair. I got this inspiration from one of you lovely viewers. I'm sorry I don't know your name, but you shared this idea with me, saying how you used to enjoy relaxing on your sofa bed while sewing and crafting, and I thought this was a wonderful idea. Thank you. Back in the kitchen, the veganised pudding turned out just how I remembered Mum used to make it, even with the brown skin on top, which I know the idea for some is a bit like Marmite. But for me, a dollop of raspberry jam and my pudding was complete. I'll definitely be making this regularly, not just for the delicious creamy taste, but also for that reminiscent sweet childhood aroma that fills the air. I'd love to know your memories of childhood comfort food. Please feel free to share below. Look at these tulips. Don't they look sad? It sums up just how we've been feeling this week. In last week's video, I managed to complete the bunny romper suit and now she is all dressed apart from adding a bow. However, I was a little nervous about stitching her facial features as I didn't want to end up accidentally giving her a goofy look, so I deliberately avoided these details until the very end. I had a look around on YouTube and Pinterest for some guidance on how to get these finishing details. I knew I needed to shape my bunny's face and sew some eyes, nose and a mouth to make it more realistic looking. I took inspiration from a video on YouTube to do the eyes. I will link it below. My bunny is finally finished and all ready for Easter. Although she's far from perfect, having a multitude of scars and imperfections on her body, I'm delighted with how she's turned out and I've thoroughly enjoyed making her. I'm definitely making more bunny friends and I'm so glad that each of her imperfections have been a learning curve to help me develop my sewing and crafting skills in the future. And in memory of my beautiful, beautiful bunny, my Easter bunny is now named Piglet.